Welcome to the RotoWire DFS show. I'm Adam Zdroik, joined by Jordan Cooper and Ryan Belongi. We're talking Saturday's four-game slate at DraftKings. It kind of seems like a bit of a downer after a couple nice Champions League slates, and now we have Fulham sitting here as of the show at Fulham against Sheffield United as the biggest favorite. So this is a classic Jordan Cooper slate here because cash lineups will win everything, it seems like. Kind of like Wednesday, I guess, in Champions League. Jordan, are you ready for this one?
Yeah, I did well in both Champions League slates. I mean, especially going completely against what Jack Burkhart was recommending. I listen to the shows, and it's like, yeah, I think it was a mistake to play Musiala in cash, and it's like, well, I played Musiala in cash, and then it's like, I think it was a mistake to play the construction with Rico Lewis. It's like, yeah, I played Rico Lewis.
Are you starting the show because you luck boxed into a Musiala goal? Is that how you're starting the show?
Just dunking on Jack.
I like coming into the Discord, like imagine not playing Rico Lewis at 2,500, knowing that it's
please,
come off.
please keep doing it, Jordan.
This slate, I'm just pulling it up here. The top 6 defenders are all injured and out, so that makes this one real fun, I guess you could say. Fulham, as I said, the biggest favorite. They are just below 60% chance to win. Manchester United have the highest implied goal total, 1.87, and then Chelsea are just below that. They're at Burnley, and then we have the Everton-Bournemouth match. Again, I'm just saying all these teams seems really fun here that we got Chelsea, we got the struggling Manchester United team. It's just kind of a downgrade after what we had with Champions League here. But either way, rotowire.com/soccer trial. It's a 48-hour trial. I'm going to be using our cheat sheet. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. And as I keep saying here, if you watch on YouTube, make sure to just go to our podcast feed and, give a thumbs up or give a heart or something to the podcast as well, as that helps, even if you only listen or even if you only watch it on YouTube. But let's get into this slate here. The most expensive player is Nkunku, who has been out for about 2 months now. The next most expensive player, I guess Bruno's 9,700, but the next most expensive forward is Iwobi for unclear reasons, but he's 9,400. I'll start here with you, Jordan. Who's your slam dunk forward play in cash games this week?
Well, I mean, I think that the issue this week in cash games is that forward sucks for cash. I think you have a lot of overpriced players that, are a little bit more goal dependent. I think defender isn't all that clear. There's not like solid, like, yeah, I'm gonna pay 4,500 to 5,500 for this guy for 10 points. So there's a bunch of options at defender. I think midfield is the strongest position on this slate. I mean, I feel the most comfortable, and I mean, especially for cash games, just plugging in Dwight McNeil at 8,700 and working from there. And that second forward spot, I may be doing a dinky with the forward spot to get a better midfielder in. But I'm not all that. I mean, yeah, Rashford at 6,200 on a Champions League slate is one thing, but it's 8,600. I mean, is he in play? Sure. I mean, can you play Willian at 8,400? Remember, Fulham are the biggest favorite on the slate. But I mean, Willian doesn't play 90. He splits set pieces. So I'm not all that enamored with that. I'm definitely not going to play Mbeumo at 9,200 as at one of the bigger underdogs on the road. I mean, you got Anthony there at 7,200, but he probably doesn't play 90 if he starts. Højlund is goal dependent at 7K. I feel my dummy cash lineup is Dwight McNeil at 8,700, and I know it's a scary floor, but you play Raul Jimenez at 4,700, leading the line for the biggest favorite on the slate, and get 70 minutes and hopefully he scores.
No way. We're not recommending Raul Jimenez on this show.
Ryan, am I looking at this wrong?
Oh man, unfortunately, I don't think so.
I'm not saying it with glee. I'm not saying like,
No,
yes,
I
I
know.
want to
And
play Raul Jimenez in cash and go, I'm excited, because this feels like I could go back to a year or two ago and go, okay, Chris Wood, 4,100. I mean, what could go wrong other than like a half a point?
Before Ryan goes here, you mentioned Willian's not going to go 90. He's gone at least 89 minutes in each of the last 3 matches. So
Yeah, but Iwobi's
fix
there
that.
now.
Yeah, he's been there, but Willian's
Well, now
still
he's gonna
going.
play more.
Iwobi's subbing on for other people, though.
Okay.
Ryan, what's up? What do you got?
yeah, no, I was gonna mention that about Willian. I was surprised to see him going 90 minutes in 3 straight. We'll see if that continues. Yeah, I don't know, that I'm a bit subdued, and I think it's because of the slate. I mean, sounds like you were too, Adam, after we had Champs League, and then yeah, partly because I mean, look at forward. I agree. I mean, I kind of agree with Jordan. Like, McNeil's the best option, and it's not a great option, but there's really not much else there. And then Jimenez lets you play all the midfielders that you want to play, and it's who are you playing if you don't play Jimenez is also kind of my thing. What do you think, Adam?
I'm just not playing Jimenez. That's all I'm going to do.
So
I think you have to play a
who's
different construction. I mean, that let's get to the let's not bury the lead. Like you're playing $9,700 Bruno Fernandes in a midfield spot, so like you're spending up in one spot there. Defender, you could probably get away with punting one of them, but you're really comparing Raul Jimenez with a $4,700 defender or flex play that you would be playing in place of someone in the mid-range. Like, let's say you did play Willian or Rashford or Anthony or Højlund. Like, dude, at those prices, there are midfielders that I feel so much more comfortable from a distributional standpoint in the midfield spots that, like, if he had a choice between, like, a lineup with Jimenez in the forward spot and then your defender is like Mikolenko at 4,500, or would you rather play Rashford or Willian Mikolenko, or would you rather play Jimenez, a better midfielder, and then like just instead of Mikolenko you're playing some like 3K guy or something, or you're able to get up to Anthony Robinson or something? It just feels like the defender ceilings are not high. Like the $4,700 player that I play outside of Jimenez may have like a 4-point floor or a 5-point floor, but Jimenez has like a 20-point ceiling at least, even though he only has like a 0 or a 1.5-point floor. I feel more comfortable with, here's a guy that could bail me out at 4,700 rather than a guy that, like, in a best case scenario, maybe he only gets me 6 or 8 points.
I mean, yeah, maybe you play Anthony or Højlund, but Højlund's kind of similar to Jimenez. I mean, it depends what you're gonna do in the flex, I guess. If you go down from Garner to Mount, then you'd have money to play like a mid-range second forward.
I mean, if you just take a look at the anytime goal scoring odds on the RotoWire cheat sheet, Højlund 41.67%, Rashford 40%, Jimenez 38.46%. But Jimenez is 4,700, Rashford's 8,600, Højlund's 7,000, Nick Jackson is 7,500 with a plus 140, 41%. So like, if all these guys are kind of like Dominic Calvert-Lewin is plus 150 at 7,400. Like this,
right? No, Jordan,
are not like the other. One guy is priced at 4,700, and the others aren't.
I get it. What I'm saying though is Jimenez has a 2-point floor. He has a 2-point floor. He's coming off early for Vinicius. And like, is it the best construction? Like, what if there's other value that just doesn't, that makes it not the best construction? Like you're rostering Jimenez to spend up kind of for 3 midfielders and spend up at defender. Like, I don't know.
Maybe is your comparison for Jimenez Mason Mount at 4,600?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Some
But
people
that's
might
really
think
the construction you're talking about by
that's
using
the one,
of
yeah.
your midfield or utility spots on Mount, which means you have like 7 or 8K on a forward spot,
Right.
as long as you're not spending up at both defender spots or goalkeeper.
Right. So, it depends how you feel about Mount, Mount versus Jimenez, which is a pretty tough call, to be honest.
Is Casemiro going to play?
I would say
Casemiro's gonna play,
yes.
right?
Why would he
He's
play?
going to be suspended for the next Champions League match.
Yes.
Right. Adam told me that Mason Mount wasn't going to start the last game, and he went 85 minutes again and took 4 shots and had an assist ruled out because Højlund was offside by a toe.
He almost scored.
Right. He should have scored. He had the best chance of the game, but he shot it right at Hannibal. It was just very, very sad for me. Very sad for me. But I mean, the Mount faders have been very fortunate.
Okay, you guys can keep playing Mount. That's fine. I'm also fading Mount. Go ahead.
Okay, you're fading all these guys, but you haven't told us one play. Are you playing no one?
I'm not playing anyone.
Oh, he's playing Sterling at 9,000 for no reason.
So if you guys build your lineup around Raul Jimenez and he doesn't start, what are you going to do then? What's your strategy, Jordan?
I'm going to withdraw my lineups.
Okay.
I don't know.
He went 52 minutes last match, and Vinicius has been better than him this season. He already has a couple goals. So there's a chance Vinicius starts, and he's 7,200. So I think it's a 50-50 chance that Vinicius actually starts for him.
I agree with you. I kind of think Vinicius is going to start. I hope he does. So I don't want to have to play Jimenez. I hate that.
I don't mind playing Willian at 8,400.
And I don't
consider him the best option up here, but I mean, like, I prefer that over Anthony or I prefer that over the Man United guys. I mean, even if you told me Willian's going to play 70 minutes and you're forcing me to pay for a second forward, and I play Mount Willian, I mean, I don't feel that badly about that. I mean,
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I don't feel great about this slate in general. There's no lineup that I make that I'm like, yeah, this is the clear cash lineup. And good luck to Saramek on his weird lineups and that are going to beat me anyway.
Yeah, I don't feel great about this slate either. So I just got to throw in. I don't mind Anthony.
Okay. So Anthony's situation. He played 5 minutes, and today I believe it was Erik ten Hag said he'd be comfortable starting him in this match. Again, he was away from the. What's up?
Sorry. No, sorry. Go ahead.
He was away from the team for a couple weeks for some personal issues. So he could be back in there. I think he could be. I mean, he's not going to be his usual 90-minute self, but who knows, I guess, because they're struggling so much. I don't think Ten Hag cares about, playing guys who are fit and who aren't fit. But we got a couple comments here. Tropical Bear is suggesting Decourt over Reed in case he starts. That would be over Wilson on the right wing. And then Jack Burkhart keeps going on. His article will be out later on rotowire.com/soccer. But he keeps going on about Raheem Sterling. He is 9K. No one has mentioned Raheem Sterling here. He's shown actually a good floor this season going against Burnley. What do you guys think about Sterling?
I think Sterling's a fine cash play, honestly, just because of the nature of the slate. If he plays 90 minutes, you could argue that he has a higher floor than, I don't know, everyone but McNeil, and not like much. I don't know. Like, look at what Sterling's been doing for them. He's kind of their main creator. Yeah, the thing about Anthony, I think people will underrate Anthony. I mean, just with forward being so bad, if somehow you get 80 minutes out of him, he usually plays 80-plus minutes when he starts. I mean, he would have one of the highest floors on this slate, in my opinion. I mean, at forward.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wasn't going to give any personal takes here, but I'd rather actually spend up. This isn't cash games. I'd rather spend up 1,500 on Solanke than play Raul Jimenez if he starts.
I considered it too. I got to be honest. I know Jordan's laughing. I can't believe I considered it. But look, you're right that it's something to be said that Solanke's guaranteed 90 while Jimenez is guaranteed less than 60. That's a big difference. So, yeah, I get it.
I mean, we all laughed when I said the Everton game was going to have goals last week, and No, I'm suggesting, another forward against them. He's going to get shots. Solanke's going to get shots. This Everton back line's not very good. So, I mean, if you don't want to spend up at both your forwards, I think that's pretty reasonable. Like, you can still make a pretty reasonable lineup.
It's got to be said that, I mean, it's got to be the case that 90 minutes, like guaranteed 90 minutes, and a guy who takes penalties against Everton, there's somewhat of a floor there.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think as long as Pickford's at goalkeeper, there's a ceiling.
And there's a ceiling. So yeah, like I surprisingly found myself considering Solanke too. De Cordova-Reid. I just didn't think De Cordova-Reid was going to start. I think that would be fine. I feel like it's time they start Iwobi. I could see Iwobi and Vinicius in the starting lineup.
Yeah, they haven't scored in their last 2. They have 1 goal in their last 4. So some changes probably need to be made there. The midfield discussion is a little easier. We got Bruno at 9,700, James Garner 6,500, and then Andreas Pereira is 6,900. Those are 3 guys that you guys are looking at in addition to Mount, or is Mount in your builds over one of those guys? Because I mean, if you're playing Raul Jimenez, Jordan, then I assume you're probably spending up on those 3 midfielders.
Right. I mean, that really would be the construction difference of if you want those 3 midfielders, but it also comes down to what you do at defender. I mean, Bruno's going to be in my lineup. I mean, like to me, the lineup's preloaded with cash lineup. Feel free to fade in GPPs if you want or whatever, but I'll play Bruno at 9,700 in my cash lineup. Between Garner, if you had to choose, Ryan, between Garner or Pereira, which one, if you had to only play, they're only 400 apart from each other. I feel like Pereira has the higher ceiling, but Garner has a higher floor. But is that, I feel like I would be much more likely to see Pereira score a goal or get on the score sheet, even playing in the role that he's playing now in the formation with Wilson and Vinicius and Willian up in front of him. It just feels like Garner is more of like a cross machine type of guy that unless someone's getting on the end of it, like he's not going to be on the score sheet. But I mean, can he generate the ho-hum 8 to 10 points? Sure. But I mean, Pereira could kind of do the same thing. Like if you had to choose between the two, which I'm going back and forth, I would tend to side with Pereira, with Fulham being the bigger favorite. But it's not like Pereira's guaranteed 90 either.
Yeah, I think that was a very accurate breakdown. Yeah, I agree with all that. I would side. I think the matchup against Sheffield would probably influence my decision most. But yeah, I think you're right. Garner seems pretty safe for 10 points, but yeah, I'll target Sheffield.
I'm on Garner over Pereira.
Oh, so not. Oh, Garner over Pereira.
Yeah, I'm on Garner over Pereira.
Okay, I think it's fine. You just down on Pereira?
It seems like he is playing somewhat deeper this season. They are playing, instead of the 4-2-3-1, they are playing a technical 4-3-3. I know it's fairly similar, but you can see the minutes. I think he's more of a sub risk than Willian for Iwobi. Sasa Lukic is also an option to come into the midfield. He's healthy again. He's not going 90. I just pulled up his stats. Last season, he averaged more than 2 shots per 90 minutes. This season, he's at 0.74 shots per 90 minutes. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. And Garner has gone 90 in a couple games. I just think, like, if you're building lineups with Pereira and Raul Jimenez, you're basically at risk of these guys combining for, I don't know, 80 and 60, 140 minutes, and you're getting, I don't know, an 8-point floor from Pereira and 2 points from Raul Jimenez. And I don't know. I know it's a good matchup, but is everyone comfortable playing those 2 Fulham guys?
No, you're right. It's an elite matchup. But you're right otherwise. But so then you're not playing Pereira or Mount. So who's the other guy?
What do you mean?
I mean, I
You're
would
gonna
think
fill a 3-defender lineup? I mean, that's what Brian's asking.
who's
Yeah,
the guy if it's
this is a cash slate. So why are we aiming
right.
for Raul Jimenez? I can just play 3
No.
defenders.
I mean, like 3 midfielders though. Like you can't really play 3 defenders when there's no good defender plays.
I mean, you guys are talking about Fulham. Why isn't a stack of Robinson and Castagne considered good defender plays for 5K?
I think that's acceptable. That's acceptable. Yeah.
I mean, you
might
guys
be
probably
right.
can't get to him, right? Can you guys get to him?
I can't get to him. I'll be loading up Luke Thomas for 3,500.
Yeah. Okay. You bashed Luke Thomas.
No,
every
I'm
other show
back on Luke.
season.
No, he wasn't ready. He's a young kid. He wasn't ready. I mean, look, he fits right in on this Sheffield team where no one's really ready. So he's playing on the wing, and we're not to defender yet, but he's been playing 90 minutes on the wing. I mean, I have some interest there.
Yeah, I could play him too, and then I'll just move up my goalie and then get the clean sheet, whereas you guys won't.
Okay. Yeah, you might win. I agree with most of your points.
Otherwise, Enzo Fernandez here, 7,200. I think he actually also deserves a mention because there's a chance if Mudryk doesn't play, we already know Chilwell's out. I guess Mudryk is fine. We'll see if he starts is the question. If Mudryk doesn't start, there's a chance Enzo Fernandez maybe. I guess he would split. I don't know. I don't know what the situation would be. He'd split set pieces with Gallagher maybe. I don't know if Cole Palmer would be on any. But Enzo Fernandez, a pretty good matchup. He's 7,200. Do you guys put any thought into that?
No, I think you should. That quote makes it sound like Mudryk is going to start. So that's a talking point. He's a bit of a lightning rod. I mean, Mudryk 6,600 on sets. Do you consider that at all? Fresh off his first goal.
It's so unreliable. Before he picked up this whatever issue he had and went 45 minutes in the last game, he only went 60 minutes in the prior 2 games. And then if he starts, you got to think Cole Palmer's on the bench. So it's like, okay, Cole Palmer will come on for him. So, I mean,
yeah, like him starting just rules out every Chelsea player for cash pretty much, except maybe Sterling.
It takes out Enzo for you.
Yeah, it has to, unfortunately, because Enzo doesn't have sets then, or at least wouldn't have more than half.
Enzo is priced as if he has a set piece monopoly.
Yeah.
So like, unless he doesn't, if he doesn't, then you shouldn't be paying $7,200 for it.
What if I told you Levi Colwill, left back, had 15 points last game?
I would say I hope that we get credit for those points on this slate when I play them, but I'm not.
I would say Colwell's a beast, and I played him in the Super Satellite and got myself a 333 King of the Pitch Satellite ticket. So, maybe it'll turn into something. Yeah, Colwell's a beast.
Otherwise, at midfield, so you guys are both pretty sold on Mount. So if you're going down, if for some reason you have to go down in your second midfield spot, then Mount is there. Just in terms of Bruno Fernandes here, is he going to be in the situation, given what we have everything else we have in the slate, is he going to be in pretty much all your guys' lineups, or is there any reason to fade him here in this spot? Jordan, what about you?
GPPs, I mean, he's going to be the highest owned player on the whole slate. So like, he's 9,700. He needs to do a lot in order to pay off that price tag. I have no problem in GPPs playing either no Man City players, or you play Rashford instead of him, or Anthony, you play other people, and Man United score goals that don't go through Bruno. That's perfectly fine. I mean, that's in GP. There's plenty of other people to play. It's a 4-game slate.
Well, why does he need to do a lot? What if we only get like 4 goals on the slate and Bruno has like an 18-point floor?
Okay, that's a situation, but there are also situations where Calvert-Lewin has a brace. Solanke has the Everton Bournemouth game goes off. Bruno sitting there with 18 points and he's unnecessary. Like, you could have him in your lineup, or it could be that you have. I much rather when it comes to these types of players, that if I'm going to play a non-Bruno lineup, I want to have multiple people that have brace upside. So it's not just I'm fading Bruno and getting a balanced construction with Dwight McNeil and Willian and those types of guys. It's like, no, I want to have Calvert-Lewin and Solanke. I want to have Nick Jackson and Sterling. I want to have a Chelsea stack or something like that. They put up 3 goals in the first half against Burnley. Like, I need that type of ceiling. I'm not fading Bruno for balanced floor players. So if you're able to get 2 forwards in that have 2 goal upside, I think not having Bruno is fine. But if you're not doing that, then probably those should be Bruno lineups.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on Bruno
You have
Fernandes?
Oliver McBurney on the slate, Adam. Come on. He's like 17 goal upside, according to you, right? Why aren't we playing Ollie McBurney? You pair him with Luke Thomas. What can go wrong?
I mean, he had 3.5 points for 3,600. I think that was fine.
But you're not into him this slate. You can't do it that now.
I don't need to. You got enough money to spend. I mean, last slate it was a 6-match slate. We had all these players above 10K. This slate doesn't have the same thing, so there's no reason to go down.
Know that you've lost faith.
There's no reason to spend down for Oliver McBurney unless you want to win tournaments, I guess. Ryan, what were you gonna say here?
I was just gonna say I think Jordan made a lot of great points, and he's right. If I faded Bruno, it would be for Rashford would be a top candidate. Even like Mbeumo would be a candidate. I mean, pretty much exactly what he said. But that being said, I lean towards where you're coming from in that this feels like a slate where I want to have a lot of Bruno. But all of Jordan's points were correct.
That's just for GPPs, obviously.
Yeah, right. For GPPs, where
cash games, you're plugging in Bruno. I think. I mean, assuming that he starts and there's no shenanigans or anything, if you are playing a head-to-head against someone and they did not play Bruno Fernandes in their lineup, and their name is not Saramek, like, you should invite that guy to play head-to-heads. And I say Saramek because, dude, his lineups have been heuristically off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're even being a little nice, I think. If you don't play Bruno in cash on this slate, you need to self-exclude. I mean, it's over.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked, dude. Saramek shows up with lineups in cash that are.
I get it, but there's just like not enough other options here.
For defender, we talked about Anthony Robinson. He is at 5,400. Castagna is at 5,100. You guys were glued to the West Ham fullbacks last week. Are you glued to the Fulham fullbacks in this matchup? Sorry, yeah, Fulham.
Ryan, you're the defender specialist. I personally, right now if I don't play Jimenez in my cash lineup, I still have a construction that I'm able to play Anthony Robinson at 5,400. I mean, he clearly has the highest floor out of defenders on the slate, but I mean, it's not like I need it's a luxury, if anything. If I had a choice between paying up for Robinson and then paying down a goalkeeper, I would prefer to pay up for Robinson than care about goalkeeper. But outside of that, like, I'm not prioritizing him, but like, if you told me that you played Delo, and I don't mind Delo, especially Man United are favored. And he pretty much has to play 90 minutes because they have no fullbacks. So like he's forced into 90 minutes. But then you have like Mikolenko at 4,500. He's there? I guess Colwell is there, right? You have all these people. Like I'm more on board with, none of these matchups. Like, I know Fulham is the biggest favorite, but it's Fulham. So Luke Thomas at 3,500 being a wingback, like, I much prefer him than just playing just a rando center back type of punt, finding the lowest green check mark type of thing. But if I don't play Jimenez, like, I think a Luke Thomas, Anthony Robinson combination. And hey, if you could get the Castagna and you're playing both Fulham fullbacks and you just take that at a goalkeeper, I think I think it's very clear that the fullbacks for Fulham are the highest floor players at defender, but they're still not worth prioritizing.
Yeah, it's hard for me to argue with most of that. Yeah, if I had to rank them point per dollar, Robinson number 1, Castagna number 2, and then I'll say Luke Thomas just because he's 3,500. Then after that, I guess, if I had a slightly disagree, I'll take the Everton guys over Delo just slightly. But I mean, I don't really want any of them. Yeah, the Fulham guys are the best options, and then Luke Thomas because he's cheap, in my opinion.
I pulled up the floors per 90 for defenders. Mads Roerslev at 3,300 at Manchester United technically has the best floor of any defender on the slate per 90 minutes. And as we scroll up to the actual formation here, we should get a 5-3-2 formation from Brighton. We'll see who it actually is, but projected
Brentford. Obviously.
Sorry, but yeah.
Yes, Brentford. Aaron Hickey and Mads Roerslev projected to be the wingbacks there. So.
Wow, Adam might be the call of Slate right there because Amrabat was an absolute nightmare in the Champions League. Some of the worst left back play I've ever seen. I don't think they can start him here, to be honest. At left back, they should put Lindelof out there or something like that. But yeah, honestly, I'm not kidding. Give me Roerslev for 3,300 up against Amrabat.
Okay.
Great call.
This is if it was Luke Shaw playing left back or something like that, would that change your mind?
Yeah, that would change my mind. Shaw's like a really good defender.
Okay.
So also realize 3,300. We're also talking about a player that's a wing back at 3,300.
Right. I mean, it's not that hard to be a good play, right?
Right. I mean, you're playing in cash games. If you said that I really need the 200, and you're like, I'll play Roerslev over Luke Thomas. I mean, if they both were the same price, I would say feel free to play either. Whatever works out for your lineup, that's fine. But I would agree that Roerslev is still better than just finding some $3,300 center back.
Right. The only thing you're worried about with Roerslev is the minutes, I guess, right? He doesn't seem to play a lot. I just checked, but I'd be comfortable playing him, right?
Yeah, it depends what happens in the game. Just without Rico Henry, they're kind of limited on their bench, and Thomas Frank has been trying to figure it out between Roerslev as a fullback or Christopher Aguirre as a fullback. But they also have Ben Mee is out with an injury, so there's another center back that's down. So just their options at defender are limited a little bit. Other than those guys, Aaron Hickey is also at 3,500, so he's another wing back there for Brentford. Jaden Bogle is a little more expensive, so he's probably out of it. What about Milos Kerkez here? 3,800. We talked about this matchup a little bit. I mean, he's in this range, but against Everton, maybe more of a GPP play because he is 3,800, and why go up 300 or 500 from Roerslev kind of a thing. But do you guys have any other defender thoughts here?
Well, you beat me to it. I mean, that's Kerkez is going to be part of my GPP. The Kerkez to Solanke. I mean,
you're playing Solanke.
Oh, a GPP? Yeah, I think
you're welcome for that suggestion.
Not in cash. No, the GPP game that I'm looking to target the most is Everton Bournemouth. So yeah, I think playing Kerkez, Solanke, McNeil, Garner, Calvert-Lewin, some type of two of those guys in combination. That would kind of be my non-Bruno lineup. That's exactly what I'm looking at when we talked about fading Bruno. It's like an Everton Bournemouth type of, two teams that probably can't defend very well, and it ends up being, a 4-2 type of game.
4-2. That's a lot.
It's a type of game. Type of game. Just a bunch of goals.
Yeah.
On both sides.
So for your cash games, I think we kind of went over a little bit, but neither of you are going to have the money to spend up at Burn Leno with 42% clean sheet odds, 5,700.
Well, you can get there easily if you play Raul Jimenez, I think, but I don't necessarily.
So Jimenez, Pereira, and Leno. Is that?
It's easy. Jimenez scores, and then you get the win clean sheet for Leno. I mean, you just print money.
Get the 11 points from Jimenez on his goal.
Yeah.
In 50 minutes. Get that. and then 1-0 win, and you're set. You need the assist from Pereira though. So who you spend?
I don't think I'm playing Leno.
Okay, Jordan, are you going to Trafford?
Now in my cash lineup, I'm playing Trafford, the cheapest home goalkeeper against a team that I'm most likely not playing much of. So it doesn't really negatively correlate or anything, especially if Mudryk's in or something where I'm even less likely to play Chelsea players. Like, yeah, do I clean sheet? Sure. But I mean, Burnley likes giving up shots. I mean, it's a 4-game slate. There's 8 goalkeepers. Nothing stands out. This isn't the type of slate where, I mean, the way that DraftKings prices these goalkeepers, it's always like, oh, $5,700 on one slate is like, oh, the team's like a minus 140 favorite. Then on another slate, the team's like a minus 7,000 favorite. And it's like, why are they always priced the same rather than like a Champions League slate? So paying on a goalkeeper, I don't know. It just seems like I'd rather spend that money in anywhere else in my lineup because I don't think it's going to matter that much until slate is over and it matters a lot. That's welcome to goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to add. I don't know. Adam, who's the keeper this week, Adam?
Is Trafford going to be too popular in cash games?
Who cares? I mean, is it going to be too popular? Who cares?
How popular is he going to be?
I don't know, in cash games.
Oh, no, but I'll just add. I have no problem playing Fodderingham if I need to.
Okay.
No problem. I mean, you can make the argument that
Fodderingham has at least 4 saves in all but one of his starts.
He's also playing against Fulham, who can't score, whereas Burnley are playing against a team with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of talent. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm fine with Fodderingham.
Jack Burkhardt says Mark Flecken, but I'm never playing Mark Flecken this season. Do you guys have thoughts on Mark Flecken against Manchester United?
I think Flecken has the most save upside, so I'm also fine with him in cash.
Okay. Any other goalkeeper thoughts here? Andre Onana, the best GPP play because no one's going to play him?
A good GPP play, yeah. I mean, if no one plays him, but, people always do.
No, Pickford is the best GPP play because no one really isn't going to play him.
I feel like people always play Pickford.
They do.
Even me, I could get to some Pickford. As a notorious Pickford hater, I could see myself getting to some. I mean, I'll play all the goalies in tournaments. I don't on a slate like this, if it correlates with my lineup, yes, I will.
Ryan, how many lineups are you going to have? Actually, I'll ask Jordan here. Jordan, how many lineups are you going to have since you're stacking this Everton-Bournemouth match with Decore? You going to get that Decore brace or?
Nope, I'm at 0. I'm anti-Decore. I whatever. I'm only playing 3 or 4 GPP lineups, so it's not. I don't play a ton. I'm putting together my Ryan, you talk. I'm going to put together my top GPP lineup and let's see what it looks like.
I'll just say that Calvert-Lewin's goal last week, he stole it from Decore. Decore should have actually scored that one, so I'll just throw that out there.
Was he charged with anything?
Yeah, I think he's going to be benched in this game.
He's not
Sean
guilty.
Sean Dyche is going to bench him. That's what he's going to do. That's what he said this week. Right? Are
you playing Decore this week, Adam?
You
got to keep the faith, right? Or no? Is it time to just abandon ship?
I'm just worried here because it really depends on. In that last match, I think he came out for Beto, and if they're going to do this thing where if they're down a goal or they need a goal or something, and Decore is the casualty. I have less faith because previously it was like, okay, Decore is almost one of the locks to go 90. But if they're in a situation where it was like last week against Luton Town and they're pushing and they used Calvert-Lewin and Beto at the same time, that kind of turns me off of it a little bit because, I want Decore to be in for those final 30 minutes to rack up shots. And that's not what he did last week, unfortunately.
Jordan looks excited.
I'm dancing around because I did the lineup that was I able to fit in the last guy? I didn't know until the end. And then it's like, oh, party time, leaving 100 on the table. Right. It's one of those things. I'll literally tell you the lineup that I tried to put together. So
James Tarkowski, defender number 1. Okay. Kirkesh.
So I tried to stack. I'm like, okay, the Everton Bournemouth game. So it's like, I want McNeil, Calvert-Lewin. I want Kirkez, Solanke, right? And then I want Bruno Fernandes in that lineup, right? Pay down for Trafford, pay up for the highest floor defender in Anthony Robinson. And it's like, well, why don't I pair Anthony Robinson with how much money do I have left? $4,800. Raul Jimenez dance, $4,700. Bingo. That's why I did that. I'm like, I don't know if I have the money for oh, yes, I have the money for that. Oh, okay. That works out.
What do you,
okay.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty
sounds like a
decent lineup.
solid lineup. I think that's the lineup.
Sounds like a pretty solid lineup.
Yeah, I think instead of that, you play Fodderingham and get an 8-point floor from Conor Gallagher, and you just walk out with the money instead of the 2 points from him.
I'm going to replace Bruno. I'm going to replace Dwight McNeil, and I'm going to leave money on the table for your favorite player. I'm going to put in Mason Mount there. He's obviously going to do well. And who cares about the other $4,200?
Yeah, that's fine.
Ryan, I'm going to pay down for Anthony Robinson. I'm going to put Luke Thomas in that spot. What are all the players that Adam hates? And I'm just going to play all of those.
Hey, I don't hate Luke Thomas. Ryan had a strong hate for Luke Thomas all of last season, so I had to bring that part up.
I'm going to take out Solanke. You like him too much. I'm going to put in McBurney since you hate him now.
I don't have the exact quote, but Ryan at one point last season was like, Luke Thomas is not a good player. He should not be playing in the Premier League. I think that is exactly what Ryan said last season, but now he's going to play him in DFS. So
you're right. I did say that. He was incredibly bad a few times, especially in a couple cup games against like League 2 opponents. I mean, but credit to Luke. He's back and he's been putting up stats, so we might give him another chance.
This isn't relevant here, but I think Leicester City's current fullbacks are better than Sheffield United's current fullback/wingbacks. They have Ricardo Pereira and James Justin currently healthy, and they're top of the table. But I just find that interesting that Luke Thomas is over here.
I found that interesting too. Yeah, who did I don't know.
They
were on a slate earlier.
Yes, week, and yeah, they were, and I saw that. I was like, two guys that should be playing in the Premier League.
Right.
Anyway.
So do you like this Everton-Bournemouth match, or is there something else that kind of catches your eye in tournaments?
I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I kind of like the United Brentford game. Well, at least just a couple players. I think Højlund was United's best player in the Champions League. Like, noticeably.
Yeah, that header he had was
noticeably very good stuff from Højlund. So I want to play some of him. No one's going to play Mbeumo or Wissa, and United have been conceding a ton of goals. So I don't mind that. And then
no one's going to play Norgard or
guy I really like.
Jensen.
Yeah, right. And guy I really like, especially after even you sort of, got off him just a little bit ago. But
Raul Jimenez?
Ali McBurney, for exactly the reason you said. I'm not kidding. Oh, you don't need him this week. He's too cheap. We don't need him this week. This is the week he scores, so I think then you're going to need him. And he it's a fine matchup against Fulham. I'm not too worried about that. He's 3,700. So, when he scores, then I can afford all the other expensive players in my lineup. Run it back with Anthony Robinson when Fulham will be chasing the game. Maybe Luke Thomas assists to him. I mean, then we're in dreamland. And I got Bruno, and I got Sterling, and I got Højlund, and whoever else I want. So I think we're going to play some Molly McBurney.
I brought this up earlier, but both of your guys' dream lineups include Bruno Fernandes. So I just wanted to point that out.
Oh, I said, I'll be playing Bruno.
So you mentioned Amrabat at left back earlier, and Mbeumo plays more on the right side than Visha does. How heavy?
I was probably a little too harsh with the Amrabat thing, but here's the thing: he'd never played left back before, and speed and quickness are not his strong attributes at all. Also, positioning is what really let them down against Galatasaray. Like he's not good at keeping the lines because he's not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So like you got a guy out there who's slow and then doesn't really keep good lines. Yeah, like I will play Mbeumo for sure.
I saw a Manchester United fan account, I think it was, just post some lineup ideas to change things up, and it had, would it change your mind if it was, I think it was Varane and Evans as center backs, and then Lindelof playing left back, or even maybe Evans was a left back because he's played there for Ireland, I want to say, or something like that. Would that change your mind at all? 38-year-old Johnny Evans, or how old he is?
Because like it's not a
he
great
knows how to play defense.
Well, not Johnny. I think Lindelof. Actually, I think Lindelof would be the better left back. Yeah,
Okay.
like Lindelof has played there before too. We've seen it. Like Ten Hag, he continues to. I'm not impressed with him in like so many ways. But like, yeah, it seems easy. I don't know why you would play Amrabat after that last game, especially when like Lindelof is pretty good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Right. I mean, is that a joke? Are you joking? No, he's actually a good defender. He's strong and he's fast, and he can play left back.
I think he was their best center back last season. And when Varane's not healthy, he is their best center back. So
yeah, he's a good defender.
Jordan, what do you think the overall sentiment is on this Manchester United team? So they lost midweek. They didn't score. They let a lot of people down last week against Crystal Palace. Do you think even with them being a favorite here with a high supply goal total, do you think some people are going to be swayed from playing their guys, or do you think just the prior results don't matter because that's what you say?
Yeah,
but does it?
Man United is going to be the highest owned team on the slate.
Okay,
I mean, hands down. I think Bruno number one. I think Højlund will be 25-30+% owned. I think Rashford will be 25-30+% owned. I think Anthony will be 20+% owned. I think Mason Mount will be 30. Like
right.
All these
Jordan's exactly right. Jordan's exactly right. So that's kind of why I got to throw McBurney in there. I'm going to be eating these chalk United guys, and then I got to put McBurney in there.
I think the under-owned team is Chelsea, because at the same prices you could play these Chelsea guys, but people won't. They're going to play the Man United guys. So, and I think guys like Calvert-Lewin and Solanke, they're not going to be single-digit owned, but I think Solanke will be maybe only 8% or something. Calvert-Lewin will get maybe 16-ish because people will pair him with McNeil. Obviously, the favorite side is going to get more ownership than the dog side. I think Jimenez will still garner whoever starts. Vinicius will have lower ownership than Jimenez only due to price. But I think the Fulham guys will be middle-ish owned. It's from a price perspective. It's like Chelsea's the team that is kind of priced out, but their ceiling for all these guys are fine. Just you have to hope they score before they leave the field. So like, I think playing Sterling I think Sterling will be lower owned than Rashford. I think Sterling will be lower owned than all the Man United forward eligible players.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, makes me like the Chelsea guys for sure.
Yeah.
It
seems
Adam,
like I was going to say it seems like Rashford and Højlund are just not expensive enough. They're too cheap, right? Not Rashford. Højlund is at least.
Right. Yeah.
So he'll be what happened? He scored 2 goals in the midweek, so it's like okay.
Right. Everyone wants to play him. Everyone wants to play him for sure. So Adam, can you click a Burnley player?
We're looking for Josh Brownhill set pieces.
7,300. Isn't he like 7,300 or something?
What are we looking for?
67. I don't know. I'm just like, I just say they're the only team we haven't talked about yet. That's all.
Oh, Josh Brownhill has taken the last 6 set pieces for them. Home against Chelsea, team that likes to possess the ball a little bit. Yeah, give us your thoughts on Lyle Foster scored last game. They played they played Tuesday against Luton Town. Mdowney, Koleosho, who he's, I don't know how old he is, 18, 19. He's in talks to join the U.S. men's national team. They're trying to win him over kind of a thing. I believe he was born in Connecticut kind of a thing. So, future American that we'll be cheering on. What do you think about Burnley here in this spot? Home against Chelsea. Chelsea are. I don't think they've allowed a goal in a few matches here, but does that kind of sway you
Yeah.
off of Burnley?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does. Obviously, that's why I asked you. That's why we haven't talked about him. I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to click Lyle Foster, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
but
at these
also,
prices, they're not cheap. Like, there's a difference between like, well, I can play Brownhill as an underdog home set piece taker at like 4,800 or something. I can play like Amdouni and at sure, play at 5,800. Maybe I could play him at. I mean, like these guys are just too expensive. Lyle Foster should be cheaper than. I mean, it should be like Raul Jimenez range type of stuff. Colio show, I guess, at 4,400. Maybe you could take a shot in a Chelsea stack. 44. I mean, is he going to play 90? Probably not. But I mean, if anything, that would be the guy that I would play on Burnley if
what if?
starting. But
Yeah, I just had it. There's certain slates where Pereira or Garner is going to be on the winner with a floor with 10 points even, right? I mean, in slates like this, so Brownhill. He doesn't seem like the worst GPP option. I just, if he gets an assist, you're at 15, and then he's optimal. I don't know. No one's going to play him is the reason. 5%. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So with Manchester United, I want to touch on them one more time. I don't really want to talk about them, but I think I got to bring it up here. In case Anthony doesn't start, we have a possibility that it's going to be Garnacho 6,700, Hannibal is 4,900, and then Pellistri is 4,100. I think that would be the range right there. I don't think Martial is going to move back in at 6,300, but do you look at any of those guys here? All of them, in range for 60 minutes, probably, maybe less kind of a thing. But what if, one of these younger players, these other players that we haven't seen a ton of tape on, would you consider any of them for tournaments, Ryan?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, Pellistri, because he's 4,100. Like, what's wrong with pairing him and Bruno with either Rashford or Højlund? Yeah, I mean, full stack. I don't know, whatever. He gets an assist for 4,500. There it is. So yeah, he seems fine.
Mm-hmm. We're also someone's commenting, telling Ryan and Jordan to make DraftKings legal in Toronto again because you guys work with them. So yeah, talk to DraftKings and get them to get Canadian DraftKings legal again.
If he thinks we have that power, maybe we're the ones that took it away.
That's your job. It's up to you.
We didn't want. We thought that we could get pew out of our contest by limiting the Canadian participation, but apparently it didn't work.
Jordan, you got anything else?
Or is he not from Canada? No, I don't think he's from Canada. Who's Canadian?
No, I think he is. You're right. You're right.
I don't think he lives in Canada now. I think he lives in the US.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as I said at the start, we could just talk about all these exciting players, but this isn't Champions League. It's kind of a downer. But money, there's still money to be won. What King of the Pitch contests are available? I haven't checked yet.
There's a 25.
There's a 25?
25 is a good one, yeah.
Okay.
I think there's 164 also. 164 also with 28 people or whatever.
Yep. Are you playing that one, Ryan? I know you didn't join it last week. Are you playing in it?
No. Well, last week I didn't join it because of you. You were in it, and I was just gonna let you win it.
I won.
But no, like that 164 one. Two things, just doesn't make too much sense to me. I prefer where one ticket out of 28. I like the 25, putting 4 in the 25. But also, like, for now, I'm just playing those bigger King of the Pitch qualifiers with satellite tickets. So I've played a couple 124s, but I had satellite tickets for it. Like, now I have a couple 333 satellite tickets. So when I get those, then I'll play it. But I'm not going out of my way.
Mm-hmm. Jordan, what about you?
No, I'm going to wait. I mean, I'm collecting satellite tickets from NFL contests and stuff like that. I'm looking more at the sports betting side. This past week, I hit 2 SGP bonuses on back-to-back days in Champions League. One I hit. I didn't get paid the right amount because he didn't start, but like I got the Vinicius Jr. one, and then I got the Julian Alvarez one that I still got paid on because the other 2 legs, it was voided because he didn't start, and he still scored. But I've been grinding out the, I'm enjoying it while it lasts right? While it's been a little over a week, you know, they're just throwing. Here's bonus money. Here's 100% profit boost on.
You're killing me, Jordan. All I want to. Am I ever going to get this opportunity from Wisconsin? Does anybody know?
No, I said no. Wisconsin, you probably, I guess so.
You got 3 years,
right? You got at some point, but I mean,
I've heard the Indians have a tight grip over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, Jordan, I mean, that's amazing.
Right.
I'm jealous.
It's not like you bet on random stuff. You just like, I'm getting the edges on all of these props and everything as it is. And then they're just throwing like, yeah, I know you have like a 12% edge on this prop, but do you want to have a 42% edge by having it be a 50% profit boost? I'm like, thank you very much. I would love that.
Let's end these shows with JBC, Jordan's betting corner. What is your
my betting corner?
What's your single game parlay?
Lines are like, dude.
Make your single game parlay. You're just bragging to us about your SGPs. Tell us what the bet is.
Help the people.
Help the people, Jordan.
Money.
Cooper's covers.
Bet the best number. I mean, dude, the only reason I took Vinicius on that Champions League one is because on the site that I got a bonus, his anytime goal scoring odds were like 50 cents better than any other site. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Give me. I have to pick 3 of these things. So let me just compare all 5 books and go, what are the best odds that are completely off on this book compared to the other books? And I'll take 3 of those. And they just happen to be the both teams to score and the Vinicius Jr. anytime goal scoring. And I'm like, well, if Vinicius score, who probably wins the game? Real Madrid. So just give me that money line and put it together and then boost my shit by 50% for just being alive. And I'm like, sure. I would never do it without, like, if you don't get that boost, like the holds are too high for these SGPs. Like,
Adam, I found out who's going to win me the King of the Pitch ticket. Just dawned on me.
Just dawned on me.
McBurney?
It's too easy. No. Cameron Archer, 4K. Let's go. Easy. It's McBurney, but even worse.
I think Archer is actually better than McBurney.
That's what I mean. McBurney. I just, like Cameron Archer time, maybe.
Jordan, I've got it right here. I got plus 300 odds on this single game parlay. Over 2.5. This is Everton Bournemouth. Over 2.5 goals. Yes, on both teams to score. Calvert-Lewin to score. Plus 300.
What site is that?
This is on DraftKings.
On DraftKings. So give me that again. Hold on. Let's do JBC. We're doing Jordan's betting quarter.
JBC.
Right. I did that on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me log in. I got to do 2-factor, whatever the hell, all the type of crap.
Yeah, so I'm just building this off. Of what Jordan was saying, the 4-2 result. We could even go over 3.5, over 4.5, over 5.5.
So give it to me. Give it to me clean.
Over 2.5.
Okay, yes, hold on. I'm moving. Okay, so we're going what? Over 2.5.
Yes, on both teams to score.
Okay, hold on. Over 2.5. Where's the both teams to score?
It's on that same page. It's
both teams to score. Yes, and what else?
Calvert-Lewin to score.
Anytime goal scoring, anytime goal scorer Calvert-Lewin. So what are you getting?
I'm getting plus 300.
Well, on FanDuel, it's plus 326.
Okay. So you're doing it at FanDuel?
No, I'm just saying if I were to do it, I would do it at FanDuel.
Okay. Yeah, you can go to RotoWire.
That has been your lesson from Jordan's betting quarter.
You can go to rotowire.com/soccer/betting, and we compare odds for 4 different sports books if you want to look at odds and get the best odds number if you have accounts at all those 4 sports books. But you guys have anything else here?
Should I use a bonus bet on this just for shits and giggles? On plus 326?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do much. I'm not going to do.
Yeah, just do a couple hundred, 200, 300.
Not even. I'm going to put $10.
2,000, 3,000,
$10.
30,000. I don't know how much money. I don't know how much money you have.
I let's just say that my bonus balance on FanDuel is exorbitant for no apparent reason because they just want to give you I got because you play at DFS, they give you some VIP bonus.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I got to use it in like 30 days or stuff.
There
So
you
it's just
go.
like anything with plus money, I'm using my bonus bet. So this is for you. I'm putting $10 in bonus funny money on plus 326 over
Honestly,
2.5 goals.
it's for your fans. This is JBC.
This isn't even my bet. It's just okay.
You
I
didn't
don't
have
want
one.
this
I
to
had to
win.
give one for you. You weren't helping the people. I'm helping the people.
No, I help the people by if they dude, if they did a $10 bet on DraftKings for this, you screwed them out of $2.69.
Yeah.
So you're not a friend of the people. I'm a friend of the people.
I'm glad we still have 19 people listening here. But Ryan, what were you going to say a couple minutes ago?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's Gustavo Hammer time.
You're just going through Sheffield United. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be James McAtee? Manchester City. Okay. All right. The other Vinicius. How about that? All right. RotoWire.com/soccer trial. It's a 48-hour trial. And then once you get in, RotoWire.com/chat. The Discord's not going to be as busy over the international break, but I'm sure we got Tropical Bear. He's going to be breaking down international stuff. Actually, I take that back. People do play a lot of international contests, and there will be discussion in there. So check that out. RotoWire.com/soccer trial. You can find Jordan at BlenderHD on Twitter. Ryan is at Ryan Belongia. I'm at Zdroik. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Good luck on the slate, and enjoy your international break. It's gonna be a fun week of no Champions League, no Premier League. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jordan. See you everyone in a couple weeks.
Good luck, everybody.